Welcome back to another video, guys. I haven't recorded in a couple days now, so I figured pick up the camera and record another video. Now today I'm going to help you choose your first rod, or just to pick up another rod on pond fishing and lake fishing. I'm going to go over moving baits, finesse baits, Texas rig and jig, and top water. So I'm going to help you choose just the right rod and the right line to use for all these. So without further ado, let's get into this video. So first here I have my top water box. Now with top waters you can go anywhere from frogs, you got your spooks, there's a lot of top waters, there's even whopper ploppers, there's so many different top waters. So for frog fishing, I've got a rod over here. Now for the rod here, I've got a 7.4 medium heavy fast action. Now this is gonna help you with the frogs especially, so this is for my frog fishing. It's gonna let you have a good hard hook set to it. It's got a lot of backbone to it, so it will get the hook straight through that fish's mouth and it will get the fish in. Now for line with this, I would do braided line because braided line floats. Some people like to do monofilament, but for frogs, use braided line. Now with these other ones, I'll get into that in just a second. Anywhere from 20 to 50 pound braided line. I like to say around the 40s and go down to the 30s, but some people even like to go up past 50. It's all in your preference, it's all where you're fishing. If you're fishing just mats, say a bit lower on the line weight, but if you're fishing around like wooded structure and like there's a bunch of tree stumps sticking out with some grass mats and stuff, I would say go 50 or more, just because your line will get frayed on all that stuff and you just don't want to lose a fish. So yeah, that's what I would use for frogs. Also, you can use the same rod that I've got for frog fishing, a 7.4 medium heavy fast action for things like spooks, because you'll see the fish hit it and then you'll set the hook. But with spooks, you might want to use monofilament line because it's got more stretch and it will help you get those treble hooks through so the fish can eat it, and it's got more stretch to it. That's what monofilament has. Braid has no stretch at all. But what's good with monofilament, it has the most stretch out of them all, which is also good for treble hook baits, but it also floats decent. So it's not going to sink just like your fluorocarbon would. It's going to have more floating to it, and it'll catch you more fish. So for the line weight with the treble hook top waters, and that's counting spooks, poppers, whopper ploppers, all that good stuff, I would say I'm not really huge on monofilament, so I would say anywhere from 15 to 20 pound. Now, probably not quite 20, but I would say somewhere 15 to 18, 15 to 20 if you want to, but I would stay around 15 to 17, maybe 15 to 18. And again, you would have your 7.4 medium heavy fast action. Next here I have Texas rig and jigs. So this is a 7.2 medium heavy by Abu Garcia. This is the Ike series rods. This is specially made for Texas rigs and jigs. Now I've got a 7.2, you can even go back up to the 7.4 like the frogging rod and stuff, but I like this 7.2, it's really good for a pond. Now with a lake, you might want to go up to the 7.4, maybe even 7.6, especially if you're flipping and pitching. But for this is mainly for pond fishing. So whether I'm fishing laydowns on the pond, but I'm not going to be flipping into those very dangerous places to throw your bait into with this necessarily, because this is just casting out towards something like that, but it's not getting really deep into that wood where you can get hung up, or you need that hard hook set to get the fish out of that laydown. So for a pond rod, I would say the 7.2 medium heavy action. It's good for jigs and Texas rigs, all that stuff, so you can really get the fish in. I've used this a good bit and it's performed very well. Now with a lake, I would say maybe go up to a 7.4, maybe even a 7.6, depending on if you're flipping and pitching into wooded structures, laydowns, and all that stuff. But yeah, so that's what I would stay right around, is 7.2 to 7.6. Now for line with this. Now a lot of people, when they're pitching and flipping into wooded areas, laydowns, and all that stuff, they like to use braided line as their main line, and then a 17 to You can even go up to 25-pound leader. Rather be safe than sorry, so go anywhere from 20 to 25-pound line if you're pitching and flipping as a leader. But just for using casting jigs out of pond and Texas rigs, I would say anywhere from 15 to 20-pound line, just depending, again, your area that you're fishing. So yeah, that's what I've got for Texas rig and jig. Next here we've got my favorite one of them all, moving baits. Now I am going to mainly go over crankbaits. I'll also quickly go over chatterbaits and things like that. Now first, just to get out of the way, for now I will be using jerk baits because it's colder out, but as it starts to warm up I will use the more aggressive moving baits. This is just about as aggressive that you can go other than a deep diving crankbait this time of year. Let's say Shadow Wrap Shad Deep. I've not fished with it a whole lot yet because the ponds are all frozen over, but when they thaw out, this is what I'm going to use a lot. Over here I've got a 7-1 medium fast action. So this is going to be good, especially with this jerk bait, because it's got that fast tapering action. It's gonna allow you to let the fish eat the bait, and since it's got treble hooks on it, they're gonna eat it and they might need a little bit longer to eat it. So it's really gonna let you get that hook into the fish's mouth. It's got good backbone to it, but it also has a good bend to it, which is gonna really help you when you're using the jerk bait. So what I've got again is a 7-1 medium fast, and for line I would say 10 to 14 pound line. I've got 12-pound line on here. That's probably your best line for pond jerk baits, maybe some more shallow jerk baits on a lake, but for deeper running jerk baits I would say maybe go up to 15 to 16 pound line and go down to probably 12 to 14. Now I don't have a lot of experience fishing with the jerk bait, especially in lakes, but that's my best guess to say. Next up on moving baits would be a square bow crankbait. For this, my all-around rod is probably again this 7-1 medium fast action. So with the moving baits, you want that extra bend in your rod because you want the fish to be able to eat it, and then you'll detect the bite and then you'll later set the hook, which is why it has much more backbone to it. So the fish initially eats it and your rod's gonna bend a little bit, and then you'll notice the bite and then you'll further set it, and it's gonna really let the fish eat the whole bait, and then you're gonna hook up. So with line for that, I've got 12-pound on there. You can even go down to 10-pound line. I've also got some 15-pound that I could use. You can even go with 14-pound line is also a good option. Just anywhere from 10 to 15-pound line. 15 is a little bit heavy. Next up here on moving baits is the Lipless Crankbait. Now a rod, this is going to need a more heavier hook set to it. So I can go with a stiffer medium. Now that means, say your medium for your square bow crankbait is a bit softer tip to it, then I would go to a bit of a less flexible tip to it with a stiffer medium. So when you're reeling that bait in, it's not going to bend so much, and it's going to take a bit more weight to bend to it, because with this you're going to be popping it, you're going to be slow retrieving it, but you're going to need a heavier hook set to it. So what I like using for the Lipless Crankbait is this is a 7-2 medium action, but it is a definitely more stiffer medium. I've even used frogs on this rod, but it was definitely way too light for a frog. But this is a good all-around Lipless Crankbait. This is the Johnny Moore's Carbonite 2.0. It's a 7-foot medium action, but definitely a stiffer bend to it. Some people will even go over to the medium heavy action. This is a bit of a stiffer medium heavy, but this will also work great for it. Again, this is a 7.4 medium fast, so it will help you with this. Say you can't hook up on the fish and your rod's just a little bit too light and you're scared that you're not getting that hook through the fish's mouth, go up to a medium heavy. Last for the moving baits is a spinnerbait or chatterbait. Now these two I don't have a lot of experience with. I usually don't like fishing the spinnerbait, but I've never given it a good chance to fish with it, so I'm definitely going to be using it more this springtime. Now what I figure would be good is it's got a bit of a meatier hook to it. I would go with your stiffer medium or a medium heavy. Especially with chatterbaits, I would go up to the medium heavy. You'll need that extra backbone because the hooks are nowhere near as thin as the square bills and all that stuff. So line with this, I would say 15 to 20 pound line. A lot of people like using 17 pound. It's definitely a good option. Now last but not least, we have finesse fishing. Now this is your Ned rigs, your just all finesse tactics. So for these, I would say use a spinning rod. All these other ones have been bait casting, but this last one here, I would say spinning. Over here I've got a 7.2 medium fast action. This is the Johnny Moore's Signature Series rods. They're newer this year, I believe. I got it from Cabela's. You can get it at your Bass Pro Shops. Same company, so they'll have the same things. This is probably one of my favorite rods. It works really well. I've used it a good bit with the Ned rig. I've not used it with the drop shot much, but I'm sure it would work great. So this would be for your lakes and ponds for finesse fishing. Now, I've got a lot of people like to use braid to a fluorocarbon leader. So I've got 20 pound braid, a 12 pound fluorocarbon leader. You can go down to 10 or 8 pound fluorocarbon, just depending on water clarity and how finicky the fish are. But yeah, so that's pretty much what we've got for finesse fishing. That's pretty much going to wrap it up for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys want to see down below. I love whenever I get video requests to do. I'm definitely running out of video ideas. That's why I haven't posted these past few days. Also, I'm trying to make these videos good quality for you guys, and I try to go daily, but it didn't really work out because I just felt the videos would just be, because I ended up scrapping some videos because they just weren't that good. Yeah, that will wrap it up for today. I hope I helped some of you guys out on choosing your first rods or just expanding your rod arsenal to try new things and different tactics. But that's going to wrap it up for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like. And if you're new, I'd love it if you can consider subscribing. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys in the next one.